Touhou Fan Game Jam 7 is here! Participants had 3 days to make a Touhou fan game based around a theme. The theme this time around was Deaf to All But the Song, and the games all had to be based around a Touhou song title. As always, I have an entry I made, but there are also a ton of other Jam games that I played. Like my Pride Jam 3 video, I'm only going to cover a select few this time due to a fairly busy schedule. So, let's take a look at some of my favorite fan games from Touhou Fan Game Jam 7. First up, we have Reach for the Moon Immortal Smoke by Magpie Tea House. This game should give a good idea of how the theme works. In it, Kaguya gets kidnapped by Lunarians, so Moku has to reach for the moon with a hot air balloon. Cause you know, she's reaching for the moon, and a hot air balloon uses smoke. Reach for the moon, Immortal Smoke. Yeah, so that's how most of the games use the theme. This game's essentially just you playing as Moku in a hot air balloon and dodging obstacles like UFOs and lightning along the way. Environments are pretty varied, and the graphics look nice. My favorite part about this game though is how the music changes with every level. You get a few very solid remixes of Reach for the Moon that match each level's tone. Next we have 73rd Memory by Icing 11. This one's a traditional Touhou Danmaku. There's an infinite life system though, so players of all skill levels are welcome. It plays as sort of a remake of Satori's fight from Touhou 11. This one's a bit hard to talk about because there's so many surprises along the way that I don't want to spoil. But I will reveal the first surprise. Yep, every spell that gets recollected has its own remix attached to it. This is really charming, and there's a lot more to this game than just that. If you want a game full of surprises, check out 73rd Memory. Now, here's an interesting thing about the Jam's theme. A lot of people ended up choosing the same song to base their game around. There were quite a few pairs that chose the same song, but the pair I'm going to be looking at are the two games based around the song Drunk As I Like, from Touhou 10.5. First up, we have Drunk As I Like, Gensokyo Drinking Attitude by T-Body. This is a Sega Genesis game. I don't mean it's stylized like one, I mean it's a literal Genesis ROM that works with actual hardware and an emulator. There's also an auto-running emulator bundled in if you just want to play the game directly. So, aside from the fact that it's really cool that we have a Genesis game T-Body made in 3 days, which by the way, is not new to just this jam, the game itself is also pretty fun. It plays as a sort of combination of Touhou and Robotron, with an emphasis on dodging and shooting alcohol that's come to life. There's quite a bit of content since the game is endless, and there's a sweet 16-bit remix of the aforementioned song. Then we have the other one, Drunk As I Like, Gensokyo Chugging Contest by Trace. You also play as Suika in this one, but the goal is to try to outdrink Gensokyo's residents in a chugging contest. There's multiple things to keep track of. You gotta balance your beer to land in your mouth. You have to time filling it up just right. And if you get imbalanced, you have to mash to get back up.
3, 2, 1.
I'd liken this game to a really solid Kirby sub-game, like Snap Tracks from Ultra. A few simple systems combined to create a super fun time, along with some really great art and a cool remix. Oh yeah, and there's multiplayer. The amount of stuff to this game is insane. This is a must-play. And lastly, we have Ore from the Age of Gods by Ice Lemon. If you've watched my other Jam videos, then you might have noticed that Ice Lemon's games are in a lot of them. I'm fortunate enough to be his friend. He even drew one of my thumbnails. But that's not why his games are in my videos. At Pride Jam 3, Ice Lemon's game, Cards, Hearts, and Inseparable Love told a story that was so good, it got first in writing. But Ice Lemon isn't just a storyteller, nor are they just an artist. They're also a fantastic game designer. Or from the Age of Gods kicks ass. Based on the mobile game Grindstone, you play as Momoyo and dig up gems in an addicting puzzle game. You can get rainbow gems by forming combos, and then you can use those rainbow gems to get upgrades. And then the upgrades expand the game's mechanics, and then you get more gems, and more upgrades. And you keep going and going, and... this was all made in 3 days. There's almost enough here for it to be a full 1-hour game. And it's not just the gameplay too. The art and music by Ice Lemon's team is also fantastic. It's a game that's super replayable with a ton of charm, and my favorite game from the jam. This is definitely a must-play. And those were my favorite games from Touhou Fan Game Jam 7. I only covered 5 out of the 34 games submitted, so if you want to explore more song-themed Touhou fan games, check out the jam with the link in the description below. Great job to all the participants of the jam, and I look forward to the next one.